Hello, and welcome to another Rangaroo cast. Me, Rangaroo. Hey, hey. Wow, I really was not expecting that. Okay, so we are during the finals for the 2v2 tournament, hosted on June 17th, if I can actually remember the date. And so, on left hand side in blue, plains blue for, we got Bublegun as the 101st Airborne, and Leib SS. Somo Heinz, some nonsense like that. He's playing as the French. And on the right hand side, in red, playing as red for Tigga Firestarter, hey Firestarter, and Tigga Firestarter is 17th SS, and Tigga is 12th SS. So we're going to get things going, and I'm rather happy this isn't just third pouch on 101st Airborne. We are seeing a bit of variety here of 12th SS and 17th SS, which are both very good decks. 17th SS is very well rounded, so we don't get any heavy tanks. Well, 17th SS is, 12th SS should do a pretty good job on this map, considering it's rather open, does give that Firefly a lot of breathing room. Well, for our American buddies on the left, and France as well, I guess, very early game aggression, as you can see, 100 points each compared to the 1775 that Tigga and Firestarter get. It's going to be rather hard later on because this is an open ground map and neither deck really works great in open ground. The French do get the Wolverines and 76 Shermans, but 101st Joe, oh, you just get some 6-pounders and Wolverines. So we're going to see how I badge off. Bublegun taking the town up top, of course, because that is, of course, the best place for 101st Airborne to go, as the French is going down below. Got an AT gun, a mortar, a Wolverine, of course. And it's going to be about trying to kill out Firefly quickly with the Wolverine. It's rather even fight. Firefly does have better veteran trio, which is a big deal. But if he can use his supporting units well, Mr. Leib and he should do a pretty damn good job. And Tigga as well. Setting up, forcing the machine gun team to fall back. Middle's pretty quiet. Seems like Tigga's going to try and push his Firefly through his range, try to get a flank, because from this area, as you can see, you can get some damn good shots. It is the AT gun and M10 over here. Now if you take a look up top, the Mr. Bublegun and his 101st Airborne are holding on to the top town, but kind of in this middle village area. We have a long range engagement against Panzer Grenadiers, and the German infantry do have, well, just regular infantry, Panzergrens, do have better long-range capabilities in their American counterparts due to 2 bloody MG42s compared to the AB rifles single machine gun. But it's still a pretty damn good machine gun, and they got veterancy to boot. And it was Firefly getting shot up a little bit. I think the M10, he could go around and try to get the flank here. And oh, he's hiding. It's a hide and go seek. The Spad Troopers, you know, the only regular infantry don't have any AT weaponry, but you gotta realize the Wolverine is an open top vehicle, so you can kill it by just getting close enough and chucking through nades. And what's he doing? Okay, he's shooting a machine gun. He's gonna expose himself here to the Wolverine's 50 cal Wrath if it can turn its cannon around fast enough. Here we go. And not looking too good. And the Mustang still flying around, trying to knock out Firefly, of course, being the priority target. And god damn it. This music is a bit unneedingly epic. I'm not going to complain though. Mortar slowly pounding away, and Bublegun still holding on to this little village area, and the town's pretty much uncontested. You do not want to go in there because engineers are scary. They can just hold the choke points extremely effectively. Really, the main play is going down below. Is Firefly and Wolverine still, well, I want to say, yeah, staring each other down, but there's kind of this tree line blocking them. So I'm just thinking they're going to have angry thoughts about one another. So it's a bit more of just infantry skirmishes, a bit of mortar play. Nothing really too crazy. I think this bottom hand side could be easily exploited from both sides. We've got the M5 Stuart here and a 222 hidden by Tigga. I mean, you can make quite a bit of ground if either side was to decide to do any sneaky malarkey. And here we got the M10. Bit of smoke here. I don't know what he's using that for. I mean, he can't drive through here. Maybe he's trying to do a double bluff, thinking that he's going to attack through here so the Firefly faces this way. But no, the Firefly can sense with its 6 Spidey sensors, probably because tanks are loud. But the M10 just trying to maneuver around. Also, I guess the Spar Trooper kind of spotted him. And on Leib, they're going to move in through the tree line. The problem is that they don't have any anti-tank weaponry. The AT gun does, yo. So if he can time it perfectly, the AT gun and the M10, he should be able to knock out the Firefly. The Firefly is going to go in. First off, going to be engaged in the Leib. Because its turret is facing the At-Ray. The Wolverine, oh god. Oh no. I mean, using his Spanish troops as meat shields. Okay, okay. The 223. What the hell is going on? How have you not killed each other? He almost had the perfect opportunity, and Leib are pretty much all pinned down, as you can see. And what a bloody match so far. I mean, this is very good play from both sides, even though this is rather comedically anticlimactic. It really goes to show the micro that both players are doing with just these 2 tanks. You know, it's a battle of cat and mouse with some rather big catch. And it seems like Mr. Firestarter is going to be gearing up for an assault into the middle village. Of course, not much there. We got mortar pound and a Raven fire. Only 2 AB rifles, which isn't too bad. The Stormtroopers way out in the open. I'm guessing he's hoping there'd be a machine gun team in here, but alas, he moved a bit too far out. And Blue is gaining that slow plus run, which is they desperately need if they want to win the match, because later on they do get quite a big point debuff compared to Firestarter and Tigga. Especially anti-tank, neither side gets a 76mm static anti-tank gun. Their only anti-tank weaponry are other tanks like Wolverines and 76mm Shermans, which doesn't sound too bad, but it does make them a bit harder to ambush, and they're both a rather flimsy vehicle when fighting Panthers in a head-on engagement. But there's a lot of room to maneuver in this map, so we're just going to have to see. Leib getting pinned down once again on a new squad, it is. And Tigga's just kind of holding on to his L-shaped tree line, using it as his debuffer against their French forces. And we are going to be reaching Phase B shortly, and that does allow Mr. Tigga to start ripping out those Panthers left, right, and centre. Pack 40 getting shot up a little bit, yeah, from the 50 cal and artillery gun. Going to be forced to retreat. Isn't in the best of cover too, so not the most sneaky AT gun, especially now in the new patch. AT guns are a bit less useful. Once they're even just a bit stunned up, they are completely inaccurate. So if you manage to get a first shot off with an AT gun, with a tank like a Sherman for example, you're usually pretty safe. They're very much ambush units now. Or you just have to be careful that they don't get shot at, which can be a rather hard thing when there's artillery flying left, right, and centre. Now, his assault in the middle is going pretty damn well for Firestarter. I mean, he's using Stormtroopers, kind of, and not really the best use of Stormtroopers here. I'd only really bloody hell get these guys when they're fighting in a town fight, because even if you can get them close, it's just a pain, and it's only going to be very gimmicky. But hey, whatever. He still has a lot of Panzer Grenadiers and machine gun teams, and he is beating a Bublegun, so he is doing something right. And we are going to be hitting Phase B in just a few seconds. We've got a Wolverine, another Wolverine, some Leib Stranditer, so he's got a bit of map control, yeah. We kind of have units a little bit all over. But the Wolverine is really just trying to stop his infantry push. It does have pretty good anti-infantry capabilities, just rather low in ammunition. And we are in Phase B now. We got Stug F8, which is rather funny. That's an A-phase unit, but isn't it? Yeah, it is the A-phase unit one, yes. So rather funny, he's getting that right at start at B. There we go, we got some more French tanks. We got a Command M4 and a Standard M4 of very high veterancy, as you can sense. And hopefully you can use the conjunction of Sherman and Wolverines to finally kill the Firefly. If he loses one of those tanks to the Firefly and manages to kill it, yeah, that is a good trade-off. So the big scary thing is that he can't just rush in around the flanks here, as they are covered by Panzer Grenadiers with their Panzerfaust rocket launchers, which is rather short range, but in that scenario, they do have enough range, and damn, Wolverine get knocked out by a Pack 38. It's not too bad for the French guy, because you're on phase B now, so they get a lot more Wolverine reinforcements, and some aircraft from Bublegun, and I think Bublegun's really going to use his air superiority to his advantage, because that's going to help a lot with knocking out the tanks, essentially. And Panzer deck, now I want to say the mechanized deck, I think 17th SS mech might get flak 88, definitely mobile wagons or something along those lines, but what I'm trying to say is German air superiority for both these decks is not as good compared to Bublegun, so as long as you can keep ripping out those planes, get some marauders out, carpet bomb the everlasting crap out of this bankment of units, that would definitely help out. Doesn't help out yet is M10 crew is now bada bing bada boomed. We do have the 2 Shermans who are moving out to reinforce. Maybe attacking over here would be a good point for Mr. Leib, as you can kind of move around here to hopefully flank the Firefly. And at that range, they can penetrate it. They do have the same AP value to the Firefly's armor value. And there we go, the Stug F8. Being brought into the mid, rather low in armor, but there's not much anti-tank weaponry right now. I think I'll bring up a 57mm in DJR. So maybe I can do a push in the middle, because they have quite a huge force here. Even though it's a lot of infantry, yeah, the only real scary thing is a Scot to stop the infantry push. Apart from that, they can easily just move on through. And down below, got some Reves poking out, taking some long-range machine gun fire, and they're just trying to clear out the forest, as you can see. But Half-Track and 222 again in position to flank around. They managed to capture the Spanish soldiers. Wait, did they actually disappear? Yeah, they do disappear after they surrender. Just running back, and oh look, we got Mr. Michael Rittman, everyone's favourite SS tank ace. And it's going to be a pretty damn good choice, especially against both of these decks now to realise it, because no 76mm static AT guns. 57mm aren't too scary as a Tigga unless you get a bit close. And Shermans aren't much of an issue at far range. At this range though, it could be a bit of a troublesome fight. But I see Michael Rittman gets shy-shotted by a Firefly later on. Well, that's the can't get shy-shotted by a Firefly in this match, as neither deck has Fireflies available. We got, oh, smoke bombs there. Okay, is he gonna rush in with the Shermans? Does he know of the Tigga's Tigga? I want to take a look at this. Like, he can't see it. They might have spotted it from earlier. They must have. I mean, over there, it's just pretty close. But he's going to be rushing in the Shermans. And this is a good use of smoke. Using it to take some ground. The Panzer IV on the flank, yo. That's going to prove to be a rather troublesome foe. And they are exchanging shots. The second Sherman's going to rush in. Not going to ride crowd. We got this Panzer Grenadier rule. They do have their AT weaponry. But can they actually... They can't see the road, yo. So if this smoke stays up for just a bit longer, and if he can actually fast move the Sherman and not slowly move it, he might be able... Well, I highly doubt he can kill the Tigga. I mean, it is so in its... Is it so in the side armor? Oh god, it is. There we go. It's dead. Little bit outnumbered, yeah. Nice idea. Just a little bit ballsy. Especially the Panzer IV on the flank. That really kind of stopped the second Sherman from moving up. Just forced it to retreat. Probably should have done the same thing with the advancing Sherman, fought it back. Got a little bit of a pocket here if AB rifles barely holding on. As Tigga managed to make a bit of leeway with just some light armor. We've got a Sherman here to try and stop him. So I think Tigga is just going to buzz off. Up top we got a little bit of an attack here from Firestarter. He definitely rocketed the crap out of that place with his enable worth of 42. His thing, apart from it not being a tank, it's essentially a Berrettino. Apart from that, it's a Berrettino. And he's managed to flame some of the Pathfinders and other infantry in the town. Destroyed a lot of the cover, which is the important part. And he just want to try and level that area out so the AB engineers don't exactly have many hiding spots. And just use long range superiority and of course a bit of stormtroopers and artillery to just go in and attack. But just look in, just look at the mini map. You can see that Redfall really has a much more better concentration of force, and a big concentration in the middle here compared to Blue's rather lackluster concentration. Don't know what I'm really doing on the mini map. You've got a better view here, and definitely down below too. So there's a few infantry guys. I think the Sherman's back end, artillery piece, a command vehicle. Nothing too much compared to a Tigga, a Panzer, AT guns, artillery, a lot of infantry. But it's also because it is stage, so you're getting a quite nice point advantage. You're going to be hitting C phase very shortly. And that's when it really starts to kick into gear, Red Tigger, and bring out some more Panthers. Or Tigers. Whatever he wants. Mustang dropping in some bombs. Not really getting any kills, just a few stun ups here and there. And I think mainly it is the town fight up top. His Red Firestarter is really concentrating his forces. Got good fire support, machine guns, 2-3 runs, and a stug to slowly batter in a rain to the town. But AB engineers and rifles and glider rifles are rather entrenched. The Sherman is getting knocked out slowly. I think it is the Stugs doing, forcing it to completely retreat. 2-3-1 getting a good flank here, hitting up the 75mm gun. And oh god, here comes the off-map artillery, the naval battery, to batter right in middle. I'm guessing it's going to be roughly on this area here, try and knock out that Stug. Panther forward is slowly making a bit of progress down below, hitting up those sappers. I think he's just... Is he just blind firing? Yeah, I think he's just blind fire to try and get them out of the building, or destroy the building. And here we go, it's Mr. Rittman. He's in a fantastic spot as he can cover this road ray as reinforcements are brought up. Got a big AT gun here. And what does Leib mean? Does he want to try and do a push for its middle area? Which wouldn't be a bad idea, just looking at how lackluster in terms of reinforcements it is. But at this point, they are losing by quite a bit of points, and it's going to be very hard for him to catch up, just from an economic standpoint. And Firestarter really starting to attack into the town. 3 squads of pioneers. And if those pioneers can get in close, those AB engineers will be blown up by those big ass grenades. And there we go, bit of off-map arty from fire. I'm guessing it's just if we can find it. Where is the off-map artillery piece? Jeez, I seriously, for the life of me, cannot see it. I mean, it's probably big. Oh, yeah, it is. It's a 210mm, which is a pretty good size, 210mm. Yeah, that's a rather big boom. Stug got destroyed, Joe, by a mortar. Not a good kill. And another Stug down. Yeah, another Stug. That was a Stug down, yeah, by an M10. And now we have the Yad Panzer. And the Yad Panzer against these American equipment players is what I like to call, like, it's in the Goldilocks zone, the sweet spot, because they cannot penetrate it at all at max range with the Wolverine. If he had a 76mm static AT guns, then they could just barely penetrate it because that's 14 AP compared to the regular 13. So just as long as the Tigger keeps us at range, it's unkillable. And if it doesn't get flanked or bombed to hell by marauders, it's unkillable. Which doesn't really sound yet unkillable now to think about it. Got a bit of a push here from Tigger. With Panzer Grenadiers moving through the mortars, trying to do their best, but we got half tracks, we got 222s, we got tank support in the back, we got quite a few Panzer IVs now. So it's not looking too good for Mr. Leibstrandarte. You can see Ad Panzer trading shots, just gonna bounce, another bounce. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. That was at closer range. Okay, so I was not expecting that, but I guess that's what veterancy is for. I mean, that he was doing that like 1,100 meters, or 1,000 meters really, so he had 14 to 15 AP, which is just more than enough. And we've got a bit of smoke here, I think. Now, smoke from Leib trying to block out Road Rave from, I'm guessing, any potential Tigga threat. But we got the Panzer Rurfer and the forces, forcing them to retreat. And I'm guessing now would be a time to move up the Panzers. Yeah, it'd definitely be a time to move up the Panzers as they are falling back. There we go, we do get a flak. Tigga get a flak 88 in his Trophies Aztec. Yes, it got quite a few flak 88s. Oh. I don't know, for some reason I thought that all German Panzer decks never got heavy AA like this. It was always, you know, on reels like mobile wagons and technical flak Verkelins. But I am mistaken. Still quite a lot to be learned about this game, so I'm not going to feel too bad. We've got a bit of a counterpush here from Bublegun. We're just going pretty damn well. Knocking out those tanks in the middle definitely helped out, and now he's starting to take it back. He only has glider rifles at this point. I'm guessing he ran out a lot of his AB rifles and engineers. And glider rifles are pretty mediocre. They're very mediocre. I mean, having 11 M1 Garens to shoot at a single target is pretty effective, but you don't really have long range capability of a single bar, and no AT weaponry, no veterancy, compared to the other airborne rifles. They're pretty anticlimactic. Got 76mm Sherman. I think he's trying to kill that Tigga, yeah. But damn good smoke from Tigga. I'm guessing he kind of just saw the Sherman on the outskirts and just got completely wrecked as it tried to chase down the Tigga. But yeah, that was good goddamn play from Tigga, keeping that Tigga's Tigga alive. It's a bit of fun of road alliteration. And here we go. This is where SS Stormtroopers really do their justice in this close range environment. And goddamn, that is just a lot of. It's just a row of fire. It looks like a giant L from, or like a giant E. I mean, you must kind of see that giant E thing. But anyway, we got off-map arty, knocking out a few stuff, and off-map arty from Bublegun with some rather big 356mm guns. And those Stormtroopers are not going to have a good day. Not one bit. Here you go. Lightning dropping in some heavy bombs. Don't see where they're dropping bombs on, and I'm on 0.5 speed. Tigga's still alive. Knocked out the water half-track, which was a damn good choice. And the Flak 88 and the Pack 40 really going to stop any more tomfoolery in the middle. And we've got more tanks. So Tigga getting a Panther. Firestarter getting a Stug. We've got two Flak 88s, a 75mm Pack 40. Yeah, they're not going to make any ground, especially when the armor is rather weak. Not in terms of usefulness, just in terms of physical armor stat. I'm amazed that Tigga's really pushed more down below. I mean, I was thinking to maybe do a Panzer 4 push round the flank here. You know, do the Panzer Rurf, hit these up and then move at the Panzers. But I'm guessing he is worried about AT guns. He can't see him because he doesn't have any recon down here, so that's rather acceptable. Or rather reasonable. We've got to realise that I kind of have the God's Eye view, or we have the God's Eye view, so we can see everything going on. Where our players, if we look at Tigga's, is rather limited. Doesn't know of anything down below. All he knows is that there's quite a few Shermans behind that little tree line, which is really saving Leib Strandate's butt. But the main thing is Red 4 is gaining that +1 point advantage. And just as long as they're gaining that +1 tick, and as you can see, at such a huge point lead, 7 minutes left, they're really just going to take the match home. Yo, Bublegun has managed to retake the town, managed to scrounge up a few more AV rifles and engineers to take it back. Moving in some Wolverines too. Yeah, and even Leib Strandate going to be helping out top. And I always like seeing when players send units to cover another dude's flank, because I find a lot in team games it just becomes 4, 3 or 2 1v1 matches. So just doing strategies where 2 people just push one flank works really well, just having those overwhelming numbers concentrated on a point. And speaking of overwhelming numbers, Firestarter and Tigga conjunctionally too also working together, just making a spearhead through the middle. And that's just a lot of Panzergrenz, man. That's a lot of Panzergrenz. I don't know what you can really do about it, to be entirely honest. We've got quite a few planes here. Mustangs keeping the skies clear. Jury 88 dropping in some big runs. And JU-87 getting intercepted a little bit. So good use of airplanes. Yeah, Bluefall's really starting taking advantage of the air superiority now. Bringing in a lot of planes, but it's not going to be enough. Trying to knock out your artillery battery group, yeah. In the person middle, completely stunned up here by the single M10 Wolverine. Really going to wait for the tanks to move up, but it doesn't seem to be the case. The main thing, you got a +2 point advantage, which is pretty ridiculous. Tanks trying to move up top. They got obliterated by Panther and Panzer IV. Some bombing runs here, mortar. Hitting up the Pack 40. And this one low and M20 command all the way up top. You can always kill that Bios trimmer, but I'm guessing not. Now we got a bit of a battle of the Britain in the skies. A few Spitfires fighting off some Messerschmitt 109s. I mean, you can guess which side I'm on. But he is using the Flak 88 to try and screen. We've got a 7-2 also helping out with its big cannon on the back. And that's going to be forcing the Spitfires to turn back to base. But Leib from Darty got even more Spitfires on the field. And they got a lot of interceptors. Quite a lot of interceptors. I'm guessing it's just... I just want to see how many planes I can kill at this point. And damn, this one lone half track really making a break for it. Bluefall trying to do one final push into the middle area. And Jesus Christ, just a lot of planes. Yeah, they're just messing around at this point. That's all. How many interceptors do they have in their deck? I mean, that's like 1, 2, 3. That's like 6, 7, 8, 9. Like, that's at least 8, 9, 10 interceptors in their deck. That's a lot of planes. But anyway, Mr. Firestarter and Tigga are going to be taking a victory for the 2v2 tournament on June 17th. And as you can see, well, the kills are pretty close considering. I mean, it's not too bad. I mean, Bublegun managed to get quite a lot of kills. Yeah, Firestarter taking some tremendous losses, which I'm guessing is due to Bublegun holding that town rather effectively, even to the later stages, where he was 101st Airborne. But really, that was kind of a crap map for both of those decks. They didn't have long range capability. They're much better in close range fights, and especially the 101st Friends. You can get away with that long range capability, but once Panthers and heavy AT guns start being brought up, it's rather hard to make any ground. So yeah, I'm going to end it off. Yeah, this has been another Rango cast. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as usual, please just take it easy.